On today's Into Your Head number 661, sewing a cotton earbud, chain link fence art, minority kitchen utensils, cow names for humans, taking pride in exhaling carbon dioxide, a little pizza history, originality on the bongos, fictional relativity in a bonsai country, putting cows into your head, Nazi grooming equipment on a pawn shop reality show, and lots more. A lot to get on with today. Items that need to be attended to, issues that need to be addressed, topics. Oh, topics. We've got lots and lots of topics. We're positively booming to the seams with topics. You've got topics coming out of this face, from an unspecified region of this face, but you can probably work it out yourself where it's going. I'm not talking through my ears. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to leave a bit to the imagination. This is after all the theatre of the mind. It's radio, basically. Fake internet radio, but radio nonetheless. It's me speaking into a thing and you listening to me through another thing, and somehow my voice has travelled, admittedly not through the air, through a fucking FM signal, although I do have wireless internet, so it has at some point travelled through the air, just not as waves in the traditional radio sense. I'm not frigging Lord What's-His-Face on the BBC, or not. I was trying to think of the other fella, the War of the Worlds fella. I'm not him either, although there's lots of people who I'm not. I'm not Hitler, I'm not Professor Stephen Hawking, more's the pity. I'm not my newest cat, what's his name? Oh Christ, Sushi. I'm not Sushi the cat. I'm not any of my cats. I'm not anybody else other than me. I could rattle off 7 billion names of people who I'm not, and then several billion more animals as well, although most of the animals in the world don't have names, now that I think about it. All of the cats and dogs pretty much have names, but no, there's snakes and cows and things and all sorts of other things that have no names at all. They have species titles, of course, and some of them on farms they're numbered, but that's not the same. A number is not the same as a name. If you're a cow listening to this in a field somewhere and you've got a tag on your right ear that says 64792B, that's not the same as a name. That's just a tag that's going to be on the packaging when you're turned into burgers, so you'll be traceable, so they can make sure you're not a horse. So no, don't be getting ideas above your station. You're a cow, not a person. Not that there's anything wrong with being a cow, unless you are. Ironically, if you're a person and a cow, then that's a lot worse than being a cow. That's a criticism. If I say that person is a cow, that's a criticism. But if I say that cow over there is a cow, then that's not a criticism, although it does leave me open to criticism for stating the obvious. That's the only thing. You can't win in this world. You can't win. Anyway, hello and welcome to the show. Now, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking cows. Cows. I've got cows in my head now. I'm going to have cows going through my head all day like a bad pop song on the radio that gets stuck into my brain. It's gone into my head and it's going to be stuck in there all day now. I'm just going to be going cows, 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 cows all day till the cows come home. And then when I go home, I'll be going cows, 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 cows. Every time I happen to see a cow in a milk advertisement on the television tonight, I'll be reminded of it again. I'll be going cows, cows, cows. That's worse things you could be thinking about. Would you prefer if I put Nazis into your brain? Although I think I did mention Hitler earlier, didn't I? So I may well have put Nazis into your brain, but you're probably going to sit there watching the History Channel tonight anyway, and you'll see Nazis every 5 seconds, except when there's a frigging pawn shop show on, and then even then they'll have some fella come in saying, hello Hello, this is an original mustache trimmer used by Hitler himself. How much will you give me for it? And the fella behind the pawn shop counter will say, oh, I'll give you a kick in the arse for it, you fucking weirdo. And your man will say, I'm going to kill you now. And the fella behind the counter will say, well, good, we'll do a little preview of you killing me, and then we'll go to commercial break, and then we'll come back, and then we'll show the bouncer dragging you out, and then we'll move on to something else, and it'll make for fine viewing. And the fella will say, you do realise that I'm not really going to kill you, I'm just saying that because I'm annoyed. And the fella behind the counter will say, no, I don't realise that at all. I can't be assuming that. I've to look out for the safety of my staff and customers, so I'm going to assume now that you've come in here purely to kill me. He did mention Nazis after all, and you seem to have what you claim is Hitler's moustache trimmer. Hitler didn't have a moustache trimmer. You don't get a moustache like that by using proper apparatus. No, Hitler probably used some sort of a pizza cutter or something. He used something inappropriate anyway, a potato peeler. Did they have pizza cutters back in the 1930s? I don't know. When were pizzas invented? There's a question for you. When were pizzas invented? I should probably Google this. Let's see. Google. When were pizzas invented? Presumably in Italy. History of pizza, Wikipedia. Here we go. Although the word pizza was documented for the first time in 977 and successfully in different blah blah blah, the history of the dish itself is not very clear or well documented. Well, in my experience, you don't use a dish for pizza. You put it straight onto the shelf of the oven, and then you take it out, and then you look for a pizza cutter and realise you've never owned one. So you take out a carving knife and fork, which serve perfectly well. You'd probably need to use the fork anyway. If you had a pizza cutter, you'd need to use the fork to keep the pizza still without burning your hand by touching it, and then you cut it. So it's fine with me. But no, they seem to be saying the history of the pizza dish. I've got 2 lasagna dishes, although only one now, because the cats broke one of them yesterday while eating chicken out of it. Don't worry, it's fine. They give them away free with the frigging lasagna kits. It's not a problem. I just thought I'd mention it since we're on the subject. Anyway, 2 pizza cutters walk into a bar. One of the pizza cutters goes straight up to the bar counter and says, hello, can I have a pint of your finest tomato puree, please? And the man behind the bar says, what the fuck now? What now? I'm fucking sick of this. Fucking cats coming in pairs. I have fucking dogs coming in every second day asking me for pints of Guinness. Now I have a frigging pizza cutter utensil asking me for, what the frigging hell was it? Laminated tomato juice, was it? Is that what you wanted? And the pizza cutter says, no, tomato puree, although it does occur to me now that you probably won't have that, although you'd have tomato juice in here. That's close enough. I take a tomato juice. What's that cocktail they make with the tomato juice? Is it Bloody Mary? I think so. A bit of that. I should probably eat some pizza first to line my stomach. And the man behind the bar says, you're a pizza cutter utensil. What the fucking hell is going on here? This is getting fucking ridiculous. There's such a thing as taking a thing too far, taking it to extremes. I'll be quite happy to serve a pint of milk to a cat, serve a glass of Guinness to a frigging dog, but no, I'm not frigging serving a Bloody Mary to a frigging kitchen utensil that probably doesn't even have money to pay me for it. And the kitchen cutter utensil says, fair enough. I suppose it's probably too soon. It's only here in 1213 that people are starting to accept gay marriage, so I suppose it's going to be another decade or two till inanimate kitchen utensils can start getting served in bars. I suppose we just have to wait for time to pass, be patient like other minorities did before us. And the man behind the bar says, you're not a minority. How many frigging pizza cutters are there in the world? Everyone has one. There's probably at least one for just about every family, except maybe in the third world. Do they have pizza in the third world? I don't know. But let's say that they're only in the first world. There's going to be probably at least a couple billion pizza cutters. And the pizza cutter says, exactly, that makes us a minority. If there's 2 billion pizza cutters in the world, as per your estimate, that means out of the 7 billion people in the world, only 2 in 7, in fact only 2 in 9, because there's 7 billion people and 2 billion pizza cutters, so only 2 in 9 of the people in the world are pizza cutter utensils. So that makes us a minority, which I believe was my point. And the man behind the bar says, fucking hell. Anyway, on with the show. Monkey nuts. That's what they call them. They call them big, steaming, shit-eating, piss-boiling, bear sitting on windowing, thingy yoke. Oh, here's a used earwax cleaner. What do you call them? Earbuds. Cotton earbuds, supposedly. It doesn't look like cotton to me. You couldn't fold a piece of cotton like this. Although I suppose you could if you ironed it. But why would you be ironing a frigging ear plunger? No. Such a thing as taking things too far. But no, apparently this is cotton. I can't imagine stitching a hole in this myself with thread. That's what I was like. If you've got a cotton t-shirt, you've got a hole in it, you can get out a needle and thread and stitch a hole in it. But this is supposedly a cotton earbud. If I tore this in half now, I wouldn't be able to stitch it together with a needle and thread. Although maybe someone with better eyesight could. I don't know. I don't mean to be defeatist, but I think it's hollow, so you'd have to stitch all the way around the circumference. That would be rather difficult. How would you, when you get to the bit where you're almost all the way around with your stitching line, how would you get, then you put the needle in, how would you get it out again through the last hole coming out? No, that's, I don't know, you think about it, they're disposable, so you could probably just get more, but there's a freaking recession on. I'm not going to throw away cotton earbuds just because I've had a failed attempt to make a hole in them and stitch it like a piece of clothing. Maybe none of this matters. Does any of this matter? Nothing matters. Nothing on this show matters. That doesn't mean, though, that I'm just going to stop doing it and go and sit in a hole playing with earbuds and wondering how to stuff monkey nuts down my face like there's no tomorrow. There's a thing I could be wondering. I could do that on the show, though. Why would I give up the show and just climb into a hole and think about something that I could use as show material? I don't know. If you got material like that, if you got thoughts in your head that are worth sharing, don't just share them with yourself in the hole. No. Put them in you might next you'll be fucking when you exhale carbon dioxide, you'll be wanting to exhale it into a tank, so none of the trees get to use it. I don't know, there's no reason to do that. You should be proud of any byproducts that you create. Carbon dioxide is a byproduct that you exhale, and you should be proud to be producing that for the plants in this country, and for foreign plants for that matter. So if you're producing thoughts that could be of use to someone else, don't just trap the thoughts inside your brain. Let them out. Let them, just as I do here every couple of days. I come in here and I let out my thoughts. I say monkey nuts. That's what they call them. They call them big shit-eating, bongo playing. Haven't played the bongos for a while. My new bongos sent to me for my birthday by Lister Jerry in Southern California. Here we go. Let's play the bongos. Which ones, you're probably wondering, which bongos is he referring to? He says the bongos. That's rather overly familiar. We're supposed to know what bongos there's more than one bongo in the world. There's more than one pair of bongos as well. So he says the bongos. Is he talking about whole 8 billion sets of bongos currently in existence? Is he talking about all the bongos that have ever existed, including ones that are in landfills now? Or is he just talking about the ones in his general vicinity? Well, I'm talking about the ones in my general vicinity. But when I say the bongos, I'm not talking about this pair in particular. I'm talking about the bongos as in, like you say, the iPhone. And you say, have you got the iPhone? You don't say, what, is there only one? Are they rationed that much? No wonder they're in such demand. man. They only have one. That would explain all the queuing at midnight. No, though, you know exactly what I mean, so don't be a smart arse. Now, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking he appears to be playing the bongos with his fingers as if it's a keyboard. Well, you're absolutely right about that. Just discovered this new method, a new bongo method. There's no point being on this planet with a pair of bongos if you're not going to be original with them. So I'm going to play the bongos just as I would a keyboard. Here we go. I know what you're thinking there too. You're thinking that's how you play a keyboard if you didn't know how to play it and you were just randomly tapping away at it. Well, that's exactly how it is. I don't know how to play the bongos either, so I might as well do this method on them, same as I would with a keyboard. I could play it incorrectly like this as well, with just my hands tapping. Well, no, if I'm going to do it incorrectly, I might as well do it incorrectly properly and play the wrong instrument and make a feature out of it. There we go. That's enough of that for now. Is it time for an ad break yet? It's probably not. I don't know. Let's have a look at the timer. I think it is. It's time for an ad break. It's time to introduce my newest affiliate, the one that's going to make me a millionaire by Christmas.
Into your head.
Do you need web hosting? You probably do. Everybody needs web hosting. You can't just have a web flung in mid-air with nothing hosting it. We're not frigging spiders. Anyway, if you want web hosting and want to support the show, you can now do so through my newest affiliate, DreamHost. Into your head, and all of my websites have been hosted on DreamHost for several years now, and you can sign up and get you can basically sign up for a DreamHost free trial, unlimited bandwidth, $8.95 a month for hosting, all sorts of crap, unlimited disk space. That's absolutely fucking fantastic. If you go to intoyourhead.com, click on the DreamHost ad on the left, sign up for a free trial, and then stay with them, and I get a huge commission. You support the podcastual arts at no extra cost to you, and you get to host your website with a decent which I've tried and tested for several years now, and I'm quite happy with them. Well, I'm very happy with them. I'm not about to leave them. What does that tell you? I'm not going to leave them, not least because it's too much like work. But no, I'm perfectly happy with them. They're good value. They have all sorts of extras. You can install a WordPress thing easily on it. There's all sorts of crap. Anyway, sign up to DreamHost for your free trial. Go to intoyourhead.com and click on the DreamHost ad.
You are listening to Into Your Head, a listener-supported podcast. Please visit intoyourhead.com/tipjar.
Once upon a time, there was a country somewhere, and it was a ring-fenced country. It had a big wall around it, a metal wall with holes in it. It wasn't technically a ring fence, but it was a metal wall, a very thin metal sheet wall that had hexagonal holes cut in it, and someone had bended. Some artist had spent 15 years of his life carefully bending all of the parts of the wall around the holes so that it looked exactly like a ring link fence, a chain link fence, whatever you call it. So it was a metal wall, but it was made to look like a chain link fence, and it functioned reasonably well as one, and it surrounded the whole country. Now that I think about it, that's not very realistic for an artist to do a whole country ring fencing thing in 1 year. Well, no, he didn't. He probably just did one little section of it in and then got some manufacturer to duplicate it. Whatever. Let's not get bogged down in the details like I just did. Anyway, there was this country that was ring-fenced by a fake ring-fenced fence and not very effective wall now that I think about it, because a wall isn't supposed to be see-through unless it has windows in it, but no, this wall was see-through and you could probably climb up it as well. If you had small enough hands you could easily climb up it. So not a very effective wall, although effective as a fence. And if you want a wall to be reutilized as a fence, then that's a prime example of how to do it. If you do it a second time, you'll be accused of copying. You'll be accused of being unoriginal because it's a work of art. If you do the same work of art as someone else, then you're just being derivative. You're making a derivative work, and you shouldn't be making derivative works if you're an artist. Although if you're a builder, maybe you should be. What's wrong with that? As long as you have the right to do so legally. That's the difference between an artist and a builder. A builder is just there to make stuff and he can duplicate stuff. An artist has to be fucking original. That's why you won't hear another podcast around like this one. It's called Into Your Head and it's original. It's called originality. That's the point of all this, I suppose. Not that there's a point. There's no point to any of this. There's no more point to this than there is to going out in the street right now and urinating all over yourself. Although I'd quite like to do that now. I do need a piss. I have had quite a lot of coffee this morning, but I think I'll just go to the bathroom during one of my breaks here. There's no need to be going out. There's no street out here anyway. Well, you Americans call everything a street, I know, but we don't here. If it's not in the middle of a town and it's got no shops on it, it's not a street, it's a road. So don't give me that crap. That's a road out there. It's not a street. That's why it's not called a street. If it was a street, it would be called a street, but it's not. It's not even called a road now that I think about it. It's got a name. The state has a name. The road itself doesn't have a name. There's just numbers on the houses. So, but still, I suppose technically it's a road from a structural point of view. But no, it's not a road by name. A road by any other name, as Shakespeare used to say when he was alive and well. That's what I used to say. A road by any other... Well, he said a rose by any other name, but I'm being original. Again, it's about originality. Copying Shakespeare will only get you so far in this life. You can make maybe a couple of trendy young people Hollywood movies out of it, but then that'll go out of fashion by the end of the 90s. No. Anyway, once upon a time, as I believe I said already, there was a country that was ring-fenced by this wall thing. This is all fictional, of course. Should be obvious, I think, especially since I started the story with once upon a time. If someone says once upon a time, it's clear that they're lying, although not maliciously. It's a story. Although if it's one of those frigging things, Hans Christian Andersen things, where there's some girl going through the woods and getting eaten by a goat or something, or by her grandmother, or being threatened by a wolf, I wouldn't call that benign. If someone starts a story once upon a time and they come up with crap like that and they say, tell this to your kids for countless centuries, no, nothing well-meaning or benign about that. Although the lie itself is not the non-well-meaning part, it's the content of the story in that case. But no, if I start a story and go once upon a time and make up a pile of lies, that in itself is not anything malicious. Shouldn't be taken as such. Anyway, once upon a time in this ring-fenced country, there was a wolf, a big wolf. Well, I say big, but this country, strangely enough, was built it had grown to a different scale than everything else. Human beings in this country were 3 inches high. They looked exactly like us. They were just to a different scale. All the mountains were about 98% smaller than ours. Ours basically a bonsai country. You're familiar with the concept of bonsai trees, no doubt. Little miniature trees. They look exactly like big ones. They mature just like them. They're miniature. Well, everything in this country was miniature and fictional. Fictional as well, although they weren't aware of that in the country at the time. They had no idea that this was all fictional. As far as they were concerned, they were a normal-sized country, because as I say, they were ring-fenced, and you can see out through a ring-fenced wall, but if it's just, this is an island country, and the nearest other land was hundreds of miles away, so looking out through the ring-fenced wall wasn't going to educate anybody about anything except maybe the sea. So no, they had no idea what was going on. Anyway, there was a wolf, 4-foot high wolf, bigger than the human in that country. In fact, much bigger. It was pretty much the Jack and the Beanstalk of the wolf world in that country. Although, well, in that country, it was considered a normal-sized wolf. It was just all wolves over there were massive and scary. I know wolves over here are scary too, but they're not 85 times the size of the average human. If this wolf, it's all a matter of scale. If that wolf was over here, we'd just step on it. But no, over there, this wolf was basically was like a dinosaur, except still in existence. Although not really, because it's all fictional, so it didn't exist at all. But it's all about relativity. If you're a fictional wolf, but you're in a fictional country and the people there are fictional, they're not going to be any less scared of you than they would be of a real wolf, because you're as real to them as it's all relativity, as I say. Anyway, good morning.